What's up, YouTube? My name's Rob and I'm back for yet another reaction video. So, this is going to be my final Haka video for this wave, but as a nice little bonus, it's going to have two videos in one video, alright? I'm doing this in the interest of time because the first video that I was asked to react to is only like 2 minutes 26 seconds long, and it almost doesn't make a whole lot of sense to put that in its own thing, just in the interest of time, just to get it done quicker, right? That's that. So I'm combining the first video with the second video, and that first video, that's the shorter one, is called Auckland 2017 Maori Haka. Alright, so that's the first video. And that specific video comes to you at the request of a YouTuber by the name Shiloh C13. Again, Shiloh C13. Alright, so then I have my second video. It was requested that I check out a video called, and bear with me y'all, because y'all know I don't speak this language, but I'm going to try my best. Taiwapanga Kapa Kapa. Taiwapanga Kapa Kapa. And that came to you from, that's coming to you at the request of a YouTuber by the name Pimi Lavalu. Again, Pimi Lavalu. So, in sum total, I'm checking out Auckland Maori Haka, and I'm checking out Taiwapanga Kapa Kapa from the request of Shiloh C13 for the first video and Pimi Lavalu on the second video. But I'm combining them, and then at the very end I'm going to talk about, well, I'm going to talk about both videos throughout the video, and then at the very end I'm going to address the comment section on the last Haka video I did on my last wave. Alright? So, bear with me y'all. I'm trying to be as respectful to the culture as I can. I don't mean to upset anybody if I butcher names or if I just mispronounce words. I'm not familiar with this language. I don't speak it. I want to learn more about the culture and just get closer to it through you guys. You guys are here to you guys can educate me. You guys can broaden my horizons and introduce me to a new culture that I've never seen, that I'm not familiar with, to new elements of this culture that I'm not familiar with. So I appreciate you all in that sense. I just hope that you can guide me on this journey. That's all I want to say there. I was wasting too much time already trying to do that, but just trying to start this video, but let's go ahead and get started. Just so I'm not wasting any more time. This is probably going to be a long video, but some people like that, so hey. Alright, now kicking this sucker off in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Polish. At the beat. I like it when they have a cadence and you can kind of just feel it, you know? I like that. See, now this is interesting. Now it seems like they have the leader, it seems like regular street clothes on this. He might be a coach or something, I'm not sure. That guy in the middle. You're like, oh, he on it. very synchronized. Very synchronized. Now, you can tell they rehearsed the hell out of that. It was really nice and polished. It was really clean. Like something I noticed with the last video I checked out on in this wave, the last Haka video I checked out in this wave, Crown Settlement Day. Something that I wanted to say but didn't say in that video was that the costumes or the outfits that they had on was really just like authentic looking. Like it really looked like they were the type of attire that a native culture would be wearing if they had put their ensemble on together with like elements of nature. So like if they went out and mixed together their own type of like clay to give it like a different color and then put that on. If they really took stuff from like leaves and tree and twigs and stuff like that and really threw that together, then you got that look. That's what it looked like. And it's like, wow, these dudes look legit for real, because it really took the time to basically make themselves look like they actually made themselves look like a living native person. And that, I think, really put that edge on that last video, Crown Settlement Day. Versus, now it's giving me like new eyes, sort of, just looking back at this. This looks really clean and polished, and they like moves was on point. You saw that. They were really synchronized and really rehearsed the hell out of that to make sure it was looking good on, I guess, competition day, if this was competition day. But with something I noticed just with their ensemble and how they were set up, you had like perfect like lines and all that on the body, and I'm not totally sure if that's how it would have been back in the day. You, by all means, you can totally tell me if they would or if it wouldn't, or if that would be like tattoos. And that's what that was trying to signify, basically like that, as opposed to war paint. Again, you can totally tell me about that. I would love to hear about that. Now, if here's the interesting thing with that. If it is tattoos, just how deep does that go in with that particular culture? Because I think I mentioned this before. I've been to Hawaii, and somebody asked me about that in my last video. They said, "Hey man, you from Hawaii?" And the short answer to that is no. I'm probably in the most opposite place you can probably be from Hawaii. I'm from New York, okay? I'm living in not the city, New York State. I live an hour north of the city. So if anybody was curious about that, why I'm wearing the Hawaii shirt, I'm wearing it because, and this kind of got some people upset. I said, well, hey, Hawaii seemed to be like a melting pot of a bunch of Polynesian different cultures. Of different Polynesian cultures when I was there. So I went and was kind of like moved by that, and was really interested in to see and learn about the different cultures that existed before people settled on the places like New Zealand, before they did the settled on Samoas, before they settled in all these different Pacific Island coasts and Pacific Islands out there. So that's why I'm like interested to learn about these cultures like the Maori, because that's what I said there. Now, I said Polynesian, and I didn't want to upset anybody. They said not Polynesian Maori, and that's something I'm probably going to pull up when I go through the comment section later on in this video, of that last video I did in my last wave. Now, I did not mean to offend anybody. It was just my understanding that the word Polynesian was more of an umbrella term to describe a vast amount of different cultures just in that region of the planet. I wasn't trying to like put anybody on the spot or upset anybody or try to like just say that this particular culture doesn't stand on its own. I just was saying, hey, it just kind of reminded me of that region. That was all I was really trying to say there. Wasn't trying to offend nobody. That's all. So that's my explanation of why I wear the Hawaiian shirt. But going back to what I was originally saying with the tattoos, something I did notice, it seemed as though a lot of like the cultures out there today, and I guess also probably in the past as well, really had a strong I want to say, I guess, fascination, we'll say, with the tattoos, just having tattoos. Like, you'll see people out today, and you're seeing, like, grown mothers and stuff like that, just with tattoos all over the place. I'm like, well, I guess culturally, it's just, like, seems as though it was, like, way more popular to have tattoo out there than it is, per se, like, out here. You know what I'll say in the United States or say like elsewhere, and I thought that was really interesting. I didn't know like if in this video their ensemble was just be set up to have like tattoos, have like the dark lines as tattoos, or is it signifying that it's just like regular paint that they would have had it, and because it looked so clean that it just makes you say, well, okay, they have it like looking like just bright and shiny, and you want to take the time to ask, well, is that bright and shiny look truly authentic to what the actual people, the actual natives were, and how the actual natives lives. And you know, you just find the same asking that interesting question, or just trying to look in that interesting aspect of it. That's because I've now seen videos where people have done it in sports teams, and I've seen videos where people's done it in just street clothes. I've seen people do it at I guess prep schools or colleges where they dressed up in just like their uniform. So I'm like, well, I guess maybe it doesn't matter as much for the what you do wear, but when you do try to go all out, what is the significance or symbolism that's put into the what you wear when you represent it while you're doing your haka? You know, I would like to know more about that. And of course, in terms of messages, and I brought this up in my last video that I did in this wave, what was the total message that was relayed in this performance right here? Just because I said this before in crowd sentiment day reaction, I'm not familiar with the language, and so if they're saying like overtly this is a story, or if they're saying overtly on the topic or the message, and me not being familiar with the language, I'm not getting it, then I'm only seeing like maybe one dimension of a four-dimensional performance. Like this can mean, to me, it probably means something completely different than it does to the person watching this video right now, who's seen it maybe 20 or so times and understands it completely, you know? So if, as always, if there's more meaning that you can share onto it, please let me know. Whether it comes in terms of like the outfit and the ensemble that they put on, or whether it comes in terms of just the actual performance itself, the actual movements itself, the synchronization, the call outs that they were shouting. Please let me know. I love to learn more about it, just because when I do get information brought to me, I'm able to then go back and look at it with different set of eyes, and it really helps me out a lot in that sense. So before I move on to the next video, I'm going to just say it one more time. Again, I'm giving a shout out to Shiloh C13. Again, Shiloh C13, thank you again for having me check out that video. And please, if you have more information about that video, please let me know. I'd love to know about it. So, that being said, I'm now going to move on to my next video that I was talking about. And I'm doing it in the same video, yo, just to keep it moving in the interest of time. And again, please bear with me, just because I don't want to offend anybody. If I do butcher it, because I probably will. I'm not a native speaker to this language. I'm going to say it like 20 times. But Kapa Haka okay. It was called Taiwapanga Kapa. Again, Taiwapanga Kapa. And this video right here that I'm checking out is a condensed version of it. Just because the full thing was like 27 minutes long, I can't react to a 27 minute long video, just for obvious reasons. And I don't think anybody will be tuning in for me for a 27 minute video on just a haka, especially when it's not something I know about, you know. So yeah, so we're gonna jump right on into this. Again, I'm giving a shout out to the person that requested it, Pimi Lavalu. Again, Pimi Lavalu. So again, thank you for having me check out this video. And as always, if you have more insight on this video that you want me to know about, going in or coming out of it, whenever you get the chance to see it, I would love to know that. So, without any more time wasting on that, 3, 2, 1, click. Yes. Nice. Nice. Oh, it was like a choir. That's nice. Okay. I'd have been really interested to see more of that, but you know what? That's my fault. I picked the condensed thing, so it's like whatever it is. She got a nice voice. She got a nice voice. Oh no, there's some guys in there. Alright. They got the bird in the back. Okay. You know what? Okay. Interesting. Here we go. All right. I'm gonna go back and look that up. This is cool. This is cool right there. So I wonder now if that's probably something with the school. This is cool. Yo, they got the poi balls? Yes, they got the poi balls! Hey! Dang it, man, this condensed video. Okay. Nice. That's the one thing I didn't get to see when I went out to Hawaii. I wish I got to see. I saw like people who bought them but didn't know how to use them. I saw someone fool himself in the face. All right. I'm gonna see the full video one day because this is nice. This is good. So that's a part of that story. That's a part of a story. Somebody tell me about it. That's the first time I've seen him act something like that out. So did they like go back and forth between song and a haka, or okay, or is this more like a play? I got questions. I got questions. I got questions. I got some questions. All right. So, I knew this one was going to be a very interesting video to go into. Just because, like, you see it just from the thumbnail. I seemed like it was more focused or more centered on the actual women of this particular culture than it was the men, and that's been like a nice, refreshing change. That's because you've seen all these videos with just the men, or it seemed like the men were like leading it. It's like, well, okay, we kind of want to see more dimension. And I also kind of wanted to bring up. I also kind of want to bring up the question, in the culture itself, because sometimes you actually hear about certain native cultures being more, I guess, matriarchal. I don't know if that's like the proper word, but more women centered than male centered in terms of like leadership. So that's a interesting question that I wanted to bring up. Would this particular culture itself be more patriarchal or matriarchal? I know I'm butchering those words, but would it be was it more of like a woman leading it, or of the culture traditionally, or more of a male leading it? That's like an interesting one thing I want to bring up. If it was interesting, that would be really cool to explore. Now, going back to the actual video. It says this is Kapa Haka Nationals 2016. Now, I didn't know if this is a competition. If it says Nationals, then I'm guessing that it probably is a competition. But if it is a competition, I don't totally understand how you're able to do a performance that's like a half an hour long. Now, please let me know what's that about. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe not. Maybe they're the winners, and that's why they got to perform as long as they did. Who knows? But beautiful. Beautiful design into their wardrobe. It was looking nice. And then something I thought was really cool, just with the opening, that was like really refreshing to see. They were singing, and as soon as they started singing, I'm like, yeah, that's nice. Just because they had like beautiful harmony, beautiful melodies that were going on with it, and it kind of reminded me a little bit of Hawaii, obviously from the short time that I was there. I was there around the islands for like 2 weeks or so, and it reminded me of that. And then they busted out the point balls. I'm like, yeah, I finally get to see it. Cause that's like the one thing I actually didn't get to see when I was in Hawaii. Cause now, I went and did a luau, but that's not. They didn't do that then. They didn't. I wish they did it. And the only people that I actually did on my trip to see get poi balls were tourists that didn't have any freaking clue how to use the poi balls. So I'm seeing kids out there swinging the balls around like they're freaking nunchucks. So there's one fool hit himself in the face. I'm like, wow. Lord help us. But that's what I saw. And I would have really loved to see people who actually know what they're doing, who are actually living that culture up, or living in that culture, or a descendant of that culture, use it in the way that it would have been used back from the ancients, back from the natives. And that, I think, would have been cool, just so I could see more. But again, I picked this condensed video. I'm really sorry about that, because I know it had to be frustrating. It was frustrating for me too. And it got more of like an overview, and something I also thought was weird about the overview was they had periods of where they were singing and periods of when they were doing the stop motion and the haka, and then they had moments within that where they were acting out certain scenes. Like, for example, you saw the line of guys getting on their knees, and a guy come up behind with like the thing that looked like a blade, and like so you can tell that they're telling a story. My understanding of that story, obviously, I'm not gonna totally get it all, just because I'm not a native speaker. I'm gonna say that 20 times in 21 just to get it out there. I am not a native speaker of their language, therefore I can't understand it totally. But you can kind of get rough ideas. Like, they brought up the giant bird. Now, basically, my best guess there was that bird is probably signifying maybe a deity of some sort that culture maybe either respected or feared. I don't know. Maybe it was a monster. I don't know. I know the bird has some sort of significance, obviously. And they were all running from the bird, but they seemed to be cheering at the end. I don't know if they killed the bird or if the bird helped them out. Y'all got to help me out on that. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah. But it was cool that there was a story going on, is what I'm trying to say. That way, this performance felt more like it was a play, more so than just like a one done dance, where it was like, okay, show's over, And that's kind of cool, and that's kind of different. And I really wish I could have gotten this chance to see the whole thing from start to finish, and I owe it to myself to do exactly that. So probably gonna go back and check out that video, but I'm probably gonna do it on my own personal time. So I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to react to it. It's just too long. But yeah, it was really interesting. Just the detail and everything that went into it was beautiful. I'm curious as to see where these people are from, like the people that actually went and performed that, because I noticed it was mixed. Now, something that I did basically see with the other Haka videos in which they were like actual descendants of the culture, you kind of basically see they were like all of the same race, and you kind of saw that I guess they were maybe maybe from maybe the same area or same type of just background. But in this, you saw like different people. Like, I think I saw maybe like 1 or 2 black people. I saw white people. I saw white people in here, and then I saw people that actually had the native look to them. And I'm like, well, okay, well that kind of gives me the idea maybe this is coming more from like a school performance. So like maybe schools had put teams together and then went out and do this. I don't know. If you do know, please let me know. I would love to find out more. So that's where I'm left at. I was impressed by them, this particular group going out their way to use different things to advance the story, from going out to using song, and as opposed to just the haka by itself, to then going to the haka, to then doing the play ball performance, to then having a giant prop, which bird. Please explain the bird. I want to know more about the bird. It was cool. It was, don't get me wrong, it was cool. I said, hey, they got the bird. Now, I didn't understand what the bird was, but I figured, hey, it probably represented a deity, maybe it represented a monster, something important to the story, from my understanding of the story. Hey, I would love to learn more. That's all I got to say there. So, that was cool. Again, I'm giving my shout out back to Pimi Lavalu. Again, Pimi Lavalu, thank you so much for having me check out this video. And of course, if you like this video, please like and subscribe for more. And if you have a specific video you want me to check out, please put the names of that videos down in the comment section below. Let me know more about what you want me to check out in the future. So, that was that. Those two videos. That was the Auckland Maori Haka. And that was the Kapa. This is the Taiwapanga Kapa video. Taiwapanga Kapa Nationals from 2016. So, that was that. Now, we're going to do one last thing just before I check out. Just because I want to give acknowledgement and just go over it. Because this video, the last video that I did on my last wave of Haka, I said that was Taiwaka to Hui Tamaka Haka. Tewaka Hui Tamaka Haka. That's what I called it. I know that's probably not accurate. They said, some people said, oh, well, thank you for trying. Some people said, hey, you got the first part of it right, but then the rest just botched. Yeah, man, I tried, man. I tried. So, just really quick, I'm going to put up the comments from that video, just so we can go over it together, and we can just, like, talk about it, and we all can just be on the same page. Just because there's some things I want to address, and just some things that I want to just go over. So, kicking that off in 3, 2, 1, and go. Okay, so here we are. So, from the top, Just YY goes on there. He's the guy that actually requested this video. This was like months before I was actually able to get to it. Again, man, I apologize for that just because I had a lot going on, you know. I forgot this was my request. Thanks for it, man. This specific haka was about killing the monster that is suicide. They're actually at a competition. That's why it's polished. And again, that was something that kind of just opened my eyes. Just when I went back and looked at these other videos that I went into today. Maybe it's not as like well put together, and maybe it's just more of like a soulful type thing where you kind of feel it, and that's how you know to move into it. More like, I guess, like praise or like worship almost at that point. Maybe not. Maybe they wanted to get their moves together, and then maybe just anything that's like a competition, they wanted to get their moves together just so it was like as precise and specific as possible for the sake of it looking good. That's something I didn't think about, but you opened my eyes up to that, so again, I thank you. Now, again, people told me that this was about suicide, and I'm gonna get to something at the end with that. Again, somebody else told me about suicide. Great reaction. I never thought about people outside my culture reacting to our stuff. LOL. A bit info if you don't know. The video you saw showcase is a war dance from the Maori culture. Maori people are the natives of a small country called New Zealand, like Native Americans of America. They are not Polynesian too, just like Samoas, Tongas, Native Hawaiians, and more. Okay, now, I had addressed this earlier in the video. My understanding. Also, wait. Okay, they are Polynesian too. Okay, never mind. I'm sorry. Never mind. But again, I was trying to say Polynesian out there just because I thought it was like an umbrella term, and yeah, I didn't mean to like deter anybody or throw anybody off because of it. All right, now, yeah, that's like it went all over the place. Yeah, then people wanted me to react to like a song by this guy named Stan Walker, and I'm like, well, okay, I can do that, but it's a song. Like, is the guy actually from the culture? And that kind of confused me, because when I pulled it up, I wanted to just look at it and see what it was really quick. And like it was just a music video. So I'm like, well, okay, if this is a music video, I can check out the song, but is it something that relates back to like Maori culture or this culture? And it didn't seem like it was. So that's one of the reasons I glossed over it. I'm sorry. If you can explain that more, QTRXT. If you can explain that more, that would obviously be great. I'm sorry, but yeah, why would I react to the the song was called "Thank You" by Stan Walker. Just so if we all be on the same page at that, just so y'all can like explain that a little bit better, I think that'd be cool. But yeah, all right. So Dion Smith, you're correct in saying that the haka has nothing to do with sport in general. Well, just because I started getting into haka from looking at the rugby. That's how I got into it. The actual act of haka itself is a loud, aggressive dance. Is native to indigenous people of New Zealand, the Maori. Okay, okay. Although Pacific Island nations have variations of it, in Maori culture hundreds of years ago, it was used to intimidate opponents before battle, but in modern times it's typically used as a sign of respect or affection. If one is performed for you, it's considered a great honor. On a side note, it's one thing to watch these YouTubes, but it's a whole different experience. You can't explain if you're there in person. And I said that too. I said, like, with that first video I checked out, they had presence that I feel like if I was there, it would just like shake you from your core out. And I agree with that. I probably agree with that, man. But that's probably the situation. I'll try to see it one day. I can go out there again, or just somewhere in the area again where they can do it. I'll try to see if I can see it. All right. Just to this guy, I just want to say, check out my videos, because I actually have a video called Jonah Lomu, Lord of the Rings. It's not a haka video, but it is a tribute for him, Jonah Lomu. I think I might have I know I have that video. I might have another video on him as well, but I just feel free to check that out. Put fear in their enemies, okay. Thank you all. And then this is the guy. He asked that question. You got a Hawaii shirt, you live in Hawaii. No, I visited Hawaii 2 years ago. I was there for 2 weeks. I live in New York. I live in upstate New York, an hour north of the city. So no, thank you, man. I'll put a like to it just because he cares. Like, I like that he asked. That was cool. Okay, I'll check that out, because I looked into it really quick, and it seemed like it had a lot going on. I don't think I would be able to react to it, because I think that would actually be trademarked. Because when you do stuff through a specific company, I think that's trademarked, and that's not necessarily why you can go and do that. And this is Brandon Hall. He was the first person that had the request for the video that I checked out earlier today, Crown Settlement. There you go again. I'm putting a like there. You're awesome. Thank you, Brandon, for having me check out the video. And this is Pini Lavalu. He had me check out the video that you just saw earlier in this video right here. Thank you again for having me check out the video. You're awesome, dude. All right. And, okay, now, there's just one other thing I want to bring up. Oh, well, we knew that guy. Wait. Auckland. Boom, there he is. Yeah, Shallow, C13. Thank you. You're awesome. Love you. All right. Thank you. There's like your pronunciation better than the white folks here. Not perfect, but good. I'm like, thank you. I tried. So, there's a lot of comments here. It was like 60 some odd comments, 61 comments. But the one last important thing that I want to bring up on this is the fact that, and I'm just going to see if I can get everybody in on it. Okay, so I got basically all the comments on here, just so you can see it. And it's like in the video now. So everybody that took time to comment, I'm giving you a shout out basically by putting you in the video, all right? But just one last thing that I want to just bring this up to wrap it up, just so this isn't going like on for like ever and ever and ever. I didn't expect anywhere near as many people to check out this video as they did. Like, this ended up getting 11,000 views. I did not expect that for the type of video. And I thought that was crazy. And then on top of that, people took the time to respond back. And when they did respond back, they said things like, hey man, like this right here. They said things, man, I appreciate your interest in my culture. They said things like, I appreciate you looking at a part of my identity, a part of who I am. And look again, like this. appreciate your genuine interest in our culture. Like, and that took me back a moment. Because, and let me pull this out. Let me stop this real quick. All right. That pulled me out a moment. Because while I'm looking at this, and I'm seeing it, and largely through the eyes of something that's like, I kept calling it like ancient. That's kind of a mistake of mine. I shouldn't call it ancient. No, these are people today, and that kind of just slapped me in the face like hard, like a ton of bricks. These are people today that are carrying these traditions, carrying this identity with them, and that kind of just brought this to a whole new level where it's like I really did not understand the level of importance, the level of reverence, and just the general level of passion that's there, and the level of importance that's there for this thing that I'm looking at and calling Haka. I didn't know. I just did not know. And that to me has been the most exciting thing about this, to know that this is a part of somebody's identity, and I'm now walking vicariously with you on that journey. I'm an outsider looking in, but through your comments, through the time that you take to let me know things and inform me and educate me, through the experience of just checking out these videos and looking at these people just get into it, whether they're the actual performers themselves or they're the spectators that are just in awe of the performers, just truly taking it all in. It's just a really eye-opening thing for me. So I just want to thank everybody for checking out these videos. I'd like to thank everybody for letting me know stuff that I didn't know, taking time to educate me, taking time to inform me. I really appreciate it. And I just want to thank you all for giving me that permission, I guess, to do that. Because in the end of the day, I will always be outsider looking in. But the fact that you feel as though you can tell me these things is just touching to me. And I feel as though, at the very least, I owe you the dignity, the decorum to try to get certain details right, and to try to be as respectful as I can, given my state of not fully knowing everything that's going on with it. So, again, I truly mean this from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, everybody, for checking out these videos. Thank you, everybody, for taking time to tell me stuff. And as always, please, if you have something you want me to see, just to see it for the sake of learning, or see it for the sake of reacting, and you can specify that. Oh, you can see this for all your personal time, but react to this. This is good. You can specify that. And please give me specific stuff you want me to check out. Please take the time, put it down in the comment section below. I really appreciate it. And if you want me to shut up, hey, you can put it down in the comment section below too. Hey, this video went all way too long. I know. But of course, as always, please like and subscribe for more. My name is Robert Smalls. I'm living in New York. Thank you. Till next time. Bye. Ciao for now.